my name is Ash. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you are returning. Thank you so much. Yeah, Luna's here with me as well. Seems like she's a reoccurring guest on these YouTube videos at this point. So today we are back for another Tipsy Thursday video. I've got my wine and I've got questions. So I had some questions from last time. I went live again and got some questions this time from you guys as well. So if you don't follow me on other social medias, definitely go follow me so that when I go live, you can get some input and give me some feedback for these videos. Anyways, without further ado, because the last one was almost 30 minutes long, I want to get straight to it. Okay, so I'm just kind of looking through these topics, and again, y'all never hold back and I love it. Let's get started. Okay, so the first question is, does size matter? I'm gonna say no, and hear me out before you just go to the comments and you start telling me everything you have to say and whatever like this. To keep this as PG-13 as possible, but to also get my point across, I don't think size makes all the difference, because I don't feel like I need to be the first to explain. If you don't know what I'm talking about, maybe this isn't the video for you. Anyways, I don't feel like I need to be the first to explain this concept to you. There are plenty people who think that, you know, a larger size means more pleasure, and that is not true. Like 100% is not true. When we shot this video, the Tipsy Thursday last time, Tara actually said that she feels like size does matter. Now, I'm not saying like micro shrimp or anything crazy like that, but as long as we're average, above average, like within a normal realm, that's my preference. That's what I prefer. Way to start it off strong. I feel very uncomfortable already. So backhanded compliments can be the next one, and then we'll move into a different direction. I've received so many backhanded compliments, from worst to best. Let's go down this, let's go down this rabbit hole. The worst thing that I've ever received at Christmas one year, and I was an early teenager, my aunt basically asked my mother in front of me why she allowed me to get surgery. Mind you, I have no surgery. You know, she did this in front of family too. And I was very uncomfortable. You know, like anybody who knows me knows that I'm a little curvy. So to put me out there like that, it just kind of hurt me. And my mom, of course, defended me. If you know my mom, you know she wasn't having that. But I knew she was only picking fun, but just to hear that come out of her mouth in the setting, my face went beet red. I was super uncomfortable. Another backhanded compliment that I've received, like from random strangers, is the one saying that I'm smarter than they thought I would be. Lots of people just assume if you're any type of pretty, if you're average, then you literally have rocks for a brain. So if I go on my tangents about astrophysics or about anything, because I do nerd out on certain topics, I've gotten, "You're smarter than I thought you would be" before, and that's definitely like, okay, okay. Another backhanded compliment that I've received before is about my hair, about my natural hair. People have pretty much told me that my hair was weave, or people have just stuck their hands in my hair involuntarily. This is not my natural hair, so I'll pop a picture up if I can find pictures of my natural hair, but it's regular curly. You know, I feel like nowadays on Instagram, we have so much representation, YouTube too. So you get used to seeing black people with all types of hair. But I've received that before, like people just assuming my hair was weave, or people assuming that I was lying about stuff like that. I think that's enough on the backhanded compliments, because we can go forever. Y'all know how backhanded compliments work. Like after a while, it's like you could have kept this. You know, if you were gonna think it in your head, that's your business. Like I can't tell you what to say and how to feel in your head, but to process that and put it through some type of filter and feel like that was the best thing that could come out of your mouth at that particular time, it's just like, what do people be thinking sometimes? So we're gonna move on to the next question. Also, I have them in my Notion and I have them in text and in DM because I went live. So what do you think the benefits of being in a relationship are? I feel like if you're in a good relationship, which we can do a completely different relationship about, you know, a completely different video about just relationship stuff in general. I actually have a relationship advice video from like a year or two ago. We can update that if y'all want. I feel like the benefits of being in a relationship are having a partner to balance you out. And that's in short, because I don't want to go too in depth and make this video like an hour long again, but I truly feel like the right partner for you is going to make you feel level. They're going to make you feel grounded. You know, where you fall short, they fill in. Where they fall short, you fill in type of thing. They're going to make you feel seen. You won't feel, I don't know, like this is such a topic that, you know, relationships are good. People are, you know, there's this theory that humans are not monogamous. Regardless of that, because that is a chaotic topic on its own, I feel like people are not made to be hermits. I don't believe that people are meant to be that way. You know, my brother would say that, you know, there's this quote, the root of humanity's problems stem from a person not being able to sit alone in a room with his mind or with his thoughts, whatever the quote may be. I'll pop it up if it's that important. I truly feel like humans are not made to be, I feel like relationships, healthy ones, have a lot of benefits. So, not to mention the other ones, like the ones I mentioned were like the mental ones, the emotional ones, but financially, there's benefits to being with a person. Like, I hate to go there, but you know, tax write-offs are bigger, you know, stuff like that. What are you not willing to change for a relationship? There was a point in time where I had a relationship. I was younger, and in short, I lost myself. I lost myself to be a part of that relationship. Moving forward, I said I would not allow me to get that lost in being with another person ever again. And the reason why I say this is I understand when you get with another person, hopefully it's with the intent of being with that person for a very long time, right? I don't know how to put this like politically correct after a drink, but basically what I'm trying to say is you still need your individuality. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if you're married. I understand two fleshes become one and all the goodness, but you still need to be you, because there is no two parts, two halves of a whole if you are not one half alone. You know, I feel like lots of problems stem in relationships from people getting lost. People lose themselves, people lose their values, people lose their ethics, people lose their passions. You know what I mean? So to answer your question, I would not change who I am at the core. One thing that I've told one of my homegirls before, when she was going through some relationship issues and she was having boundary issues, was outline the perfect relationship in your head. Now, I'm not saying do some fairy tale outline, but pretty much say what your boundaries are, what your left and right limits are, what you will and what you won't stand for. Because when love comes in, those glasses change the perspective of everything, right? So set your boundaries before you enter a relationship. And if somebody fails to meet the standard for you, I would say trust the unbiased, uninfluenced version of yourself who put those boundaries in mind. When you were single, when you were your happiest, whatever the case may be, that you that put those boundaries in line is what you felt like would be the best for you. Sometimes when you fall in love, you start tolerating more than what you typically would have. You have to be able to recognize that stuff. You know what I mean? So again, I'm going off on another tangent. I could sit here and TED talk about that type of stuff all day long. But my morals, my ethics, who I am individually, I'll never lose sight of who Ashlyn is at the core. you know, that person fell in love with me because I'm me, not because I was what they thought I would be or what they thought I was. They fell in love with who I was and how I presented myself. So that. Dating red flags. Some dating red flags for me would be an individual who communicates one thing but is always on some different time when it comes to showing stuff, right? So, you know, we all know the saying, actions speak louder than words. A huge red flag is inconsistency, because there is no way you feel how you feel, but you can't show how you feel. Does that make sense? So, oh, you're so interested in me, you want to take me to dinner, you know, you want to take me on a date, but you're never available. You're never available to talk, you're never available to text, to FaceTime, to spend time. The only time you hit me up is night. You know what I mean? Like, a person who is very superficial in communication, it's a million red flags. Like, a person who seems distracted, and I'm not saying, this isn't to say that their focus should be on you, but I feel like a person who's truly invested in getting to know you and who's truly invested in progressing the relationship is gonna act a certain type of way. And all these things that I'm describing is a person who really truly isn't interested, or they're interested in one thing, something different, or something short term, which again, like I always say, is perfectly fine so long as it's mutual understanding between both parties that this is as far as it's going. This is what I'm here for. This is what I'm willing to give. This is what I want to receive, type of thing. Because at the end of the day, I mean, that's what a connection between two people is. So someone said, should women date their best friend? Girl, I don't know what that means. I responded and said, should women date their girl best friend? So I guess I can answer both. Cause I don't know which one you meant. So should women date their girl best friend? I don't think so. I feel like, I don't know, I just don't think so. I guess it depends on the relationship, but I feel like typically, even outside of gender, right, when you have friendships that are set in place, things get very cloudy when you try to cross over things, and you can ruin a very good and genuine relationship when you cross certain paths. Because once you get past certain points, there is no going back. Like, once you cross certain boundaries with a person, it's really hard to restore the relationship that you had prior to that. Does that make sense? Now, if it's getting weird and it's to the point where there's like sexual tension in the air between you guys, explore what you want to. Like, you have one life, do what you will. Like, your best friend might end up being your soulmate, whatever you want to call it, like your person. But as it pertains to like dating a best friend in general, I would just make sure both of you really are ready to go there before y'all go there. Because a lot of times, if two people are attractive, they just automatically think like, we have chemistry. It doesn't even have to be sexual chemistry, but we have chemistry, period. We gotta go there. And you'll ruin a very good thing doing something like that for absolutely no reason. Like, the relationship could have been better off if you would have stayed friends, but sometimes people just, you know. This person said, and it's a bullet point, certain women lack personality. I feel like every individual has a certain type of personality. Now, whether their personality melds and meshes with yours, that's a completely different thing. Whether their personality is your cup of tea, that's another thing. And another thing that I think people get confused often with lack of personality is lack of interest in the person. So if you feel like that person has no personality, either they're not interested, which is why they don't seem as vivid and attractive. And I'm not saying in a physical realm, but in a mental way, like they're not stimulating you in that way. Maybe they're not attracted to you, so they aren't like that. Like, they aren't showing off their colors for you. Or maybe you're not attracted, and that's perfectly okay. But I think it takes you learning to recognize what it is, you know? And I think it's okay to acknowledge stuff like that. As a tangent to the conversation that we're having right now, I feel like there is so much stigma around just being like 100% honest with people. And I don't mean honest in the way that, oh, I'll just tell you exactly what I mean. I mean honest in communicating exactly how you feel. So if you converse with a person casually, or you have a sexual encounter with a person but you're no longer interested, I don't understand what the problem is with telling that person, hey, you know, I think you're really cool, but I'm just not feeling you in this way anymore, and I really don't want to waste your time. I don't think any sane person is gonna have an issue with you communicating that to them. People might get hurt depending on how you say it, because I feel like there's nothing that you can't communicate. It's not what you have to say, it's how you say it. People will receive anything, you know what I mean? At this point, it's 2022. Everybody has heard everything under the sun multiple different ways. I don't know, I have not met a person who truly lacked personality. I mean, at this point, we're talking about a robot. Like, we're talking about a person that isn't a person, like, or you're talking about, okay, an instance that's completely isolated. We're talking about a person that's been so hurt that they're numb or completely shut off. And that's a different type of problem. This isn't this person just has no personality. It's this person is in a shell because like they're in protection mode because of some traumas that have happened to them. So let's end on a light note, because I actually have more. I always end up having more topics left over, but we're going on 25 minutes now, and I definitely don't want to leave y'all here all night watching these, because I still need something for next Thursday. Best female artist in the music industry, general, non-biased, of course. First of all, I feel like you just can't go across like what industry. There's a million of them. Like, there's all different types of sub industries, like, you know. But to get off of that, my favorite artist, and it's gonna have to be biased because it's my favorite artist, I feel like my favorite female artist might just have to be Doja Cat. I love her personality. I love how genuine, how authentic, how unique she is. I enjoy the music that she creates. I love how much transparency she gives her audience. Yeah, I love how it seems to me as though she's coming to her own. Like, she works through things in the public eye though, and that takes a lot of gut. Like when she made Move, which was actually, like, to my knowledge at least, what gave her the traction and the momentum. That was her working through a creative block. Everybody runs into creative block, you know what I mean? But the fact that she made something, have fun with it, and, you know, now we're here. I love that type of stuff. Like, even her lyrics. I'm a big person on lyrics. I hate songs where the lyrics just don't make sense, or the lyrics are superficial, like we're just talking about drugs, sex, money. Okay, everybody can make a song about that. Every rapper raps about that. Every rapper, you know what I mean? But when your songs are beyond that, I like that. So I feel like Doja is my favorite female artist, at least for the time being. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody. I feel like my favorite male artist is gonna have to be Larry June. And I feel like a close runner-up is Jack Harlow. I appreciate what he's doing. Again, I really like his lyrics. I like his hustle. And I truly enjoy his sound. He just released a song called First Class, and it is a sample from Fergie's Glamorous. Chef's Kiss. If you know me, I love a good sample. I can spot a sample from a mile away. Like, you can mix it, remaster it, you know what I mean? You can dub it. I'm gonna catch that sample because I love a good sample. But anyways, I think that's gonna be all for tonight. I didn't even finish my wine because I feel like I was the only person talking this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you like the new setup. Let me know how you feel. I'm definitely trying to work on how things look, the aesthetics of things. I already have the content down pat. I already, you know, I know what I'm gonna talk about, but I really wanna make it aesthetically pleasing for you to consume. Does that make sense? So leave me comments below about what you think I could do better or any suggestions you may have. Again, if you're not following me on social medias, go do that. Next week, I'm gonna go live again, or I'm gonna post something on my story. I want you to be able to have a say so I can answer whatever questions you have. With all of that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you next time. See you next video.